BeClose is a web and wireless-based remote home monitoring system, which is designed for people who are aging in place or people with other kinds of physical disabilities or challenges, and for their families. Well, the way our system works is we have a number of wireless sensors that are placed throughout the home, and they communicate with a base station. And that base station then sends information that you can see on a website if you're several hundred miles away, as I am from my mother. You choose those sensors based on the activities of your parents' life and the activities where you think that they may be at risk for a problem. So you can put motion sensors in the house, and that tells you if they're up and about. If you're really concerned about whether they can get out of bed in the morning, you'll want to put a sensor in their bed. If you're concerned about them leaving the stove on, you'll want to put a sensor on the stove. Or if they're people that tend to have a sedentary lifestyle, you might want to put a sensor in their favorite chair. And you can see if they're sitting in the chair for 3 or 4 hours a day. Or you can put a sensor on the door and see whether they're going out for their daily walk. On the refrigerator, on the medicine cabinet. So what we have allowed you to do is put together sensors that match what your specific concerns might be or what your parents' assistive needs might be. One of the things that I like about this system is that I think it's very respectful of privacy and it's very respectful of dignity. With our system, what you say is there are going to be a half dozen sensors in your house. There's going to be a base unit about this big that's going to sit on a bookshelf, and you're never going to see them again. And what those sensors do is they tell me whether you're safe. So really what this system does is it allows the aged person or the elderly person to have the independence that they'd like to have with the security of knowing that if something's amiss or something's changing in their life, a caregiver will have visibility into that and can help them solve the problem.
Hi, I'm Pete from the BeClose team. We've created a system for caregivers so they can remain profoundly connected to their loved ones as those loved ones age in place, stay in their home sweet homes as they get older. This is the base station. It's the heartbeat of the system. There's two important things when you install the base station. One, it needs to be in a central area of the house so it can pick up the wireless sensors that we're going to install next. Two, it needs to be in a place where there's good cell phone reception. The first thing you do is screw on the antenna. That's easy. And then what you're going to do is plug it into the wall. It has a battery that'll last up to a day if power's out. But you plug it in, and then all you have to do is press this button on the back, and it's live. Here's the base station in a central location in the house. It can easily receive information from the wireless sensors around the house, and there's good cell phone reception here. It's important that it be put in a spot where it won't get jostled. It merely needs to sit there undisturbed. Here's the BeClose motion sensor. Like all of our sensors, it's wireless. It's got a battery in it as well. You place it in parts of the house that you want to monitor where you want to get a sense of activity. A couple things to note about the BeClose wireless motion sensor. First, it comes labeled. This one says Motion Sensor 1. So once you install it in the place you like, you'll go to the web dashboard and you can give it a name like Living Room Motion. Second, the battery in here will last about 3 years. Third, you don't want to point it at a heat source like a fireplace or have it in close proximity to a window. You put them at about the 5-foot height, and they have a cone of view like this. They can see wide to the right and wide to the left. Most people just put them on shelves like I've done here, but alternatively you can use the double-sided tape that we ship with the sensor and you can attach it. It can see throughout the room and it watches all the time, capturing activity, but it won't see the motion of a pet, say 40 pounds or less. Here's our BeClose button. Like all our sensors, it's wireless. There's a battery inside. You place this near where your mom or dad commonly is. For my mom, I put one near her easy chair and I put one in the bathroom. Then if ever there's trouble, mom or dad hits the button and instantly a notification is sent to caregivers' email or cell phone text message. Here's another spot for the BeClose button by the bedside. Set it on a table within easy arm's reach of mom or dad. The base station's installed. We've put motion detectors and BeClose buttons in the right spots in the house. And it's with these door or window sensors that you can really take your BeClose system up a notch. Of course, you put them on perimeter doors, but you can also place them on cabinets and even the refrigerator. So if you have concerns about your loved one eating on a timely basis and taking medications on a timely basis, these sensors will tell you everything you need to know. You install it with double-sided tape. The battery in here lasts about 3 years. When the battery is low, caregivers can get a message via email saying replace the battery. You can wrap rules around these sensors like what I do at my mom's house. I don't care that the front door is open many times during the day, but if it's ever open after 10 p.m. or before 5 a.m., that's atypical. I want to know. I get an email, my brother gets a cell phone text message. The BeClose door or window sensor can actually be put on anything that opens and closes. So if you're worried about your loved one eating or taking their medications, you could pick a cabinet, as I have here, and install the sensor. It's essential to line up these 2 arrows. You put double-sided tape on the back of each of these sensors. There's also a backing plate for the bigger one if you need to get some distance, and it affixes just like this. Now every time this cabinet is open, the information is sent to your web dashboard. If you have a rule written around this cabinet, you can get a notification in real time that the cabinet was open. Here's the BeClose bed sensor, wireless like all our sensors. It goes just above the mattress and below the mattress pad, slides in like this. You put it right about at the hip area. It's very comfortable. Nobody tends to feel it as they sleep, but it'll tell you when your mom or dad gets in bed at night, when they get up in the morning, sleep being a very important aspect of health. And I think importantly, whether they're up and out of bed at night for extended periods of time. Here's one of our BeClose sensors. Like all our sensors, it's wireless. This is the chair sensor. You put it beneath the cushion upon which your loved one commonly sits. It's a simple way to get a sense of how active or how sedentary they are. For those of you with a large pet, be mindful that the pet could set off the chair sensor. A common use for the BeClose chair sensor is a wheelchair. You put it right underneath the cushion that's typically on the wheelchair, and then you can get a sense of activity here, especially if your loved one's fallen out of the wheelchair. Here's another sensor you can add to your BeClose system. It's a toilet sensor to measure activity and duration on the toilet. It's a simple mat that goes around the base of the toilet, and you can place above it a traditional toilet mat so it can't be seen. It's both waterproof. You set it around the base of the toilet, and whenever someone's on the toilet, their feet rest on it, and you get a sense of their activity. This is the BeClose water sensor. Like all our sensors, when we send it to you, it's labeled. You take the small piece and set it on the floor. It can detect even the smallest amount of water. And the larger piece needs to go up higher, away from the floor. I put one of these in my mom's basement because she was always going down those steep steps to check for water. Now she doesn't need to do that. If ever there's water, we get an instant notification. Here's another use of the water sensor. Sometimes folks leave the bathtub on and flooding ensues in the bathroom. If you put the small sensor piece on the floor, it'll detect water. The big piece goes up high somewhere, and if there's flooding in the bathroom, you get an instant notification via email or cell phone text message.